Coming into a comfortable seat at the top of our mat. Let's take a big, deep breath in, long, tall spine, shoulders back and down, all the way down to the bottom of your tummy, all the way down to your toes. Big, deep breath. Exhale fully. And recognizing the 3 parts of the breath, we're going to inhale fully, all the way down to our tummies, and we're going to pause for 2 seconds, pulling the belly button into the back of the spine, engaging the core, and then slowly exhaling everything out through the nose and pausing again at the top of the breath. And just taking note of all the little places inside of you where you might be holding on to stress or tension or pain or worry inside of your body and your muscles and tissues and bones and joints. Oh, those big, deep breaths feel good. Let's inhale both arms up, up, up into the air. Exhale, bring it down through center. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale through. Inhale up. Exhale through. All right, this one's different. Inhale up. And on the exhale, we're bringing the right hand to the left knee, left arm behind you, twist it open, looking over that left shoulder. Big, deep breaths, really opening up those energy channels, finding space on the exhale. Inhale, both arms up, up, up. And exhale, bringing the left hand to the right knee, right arm behind you, twist it out, looking over that right shoulder. Inhale, both arms up into the air, palms facing each other, hold just for a moment. Let those shoulders drop away from your ears, big deep breath in. Exhale, bring it down through center. All right, and hands on your knees. Let's just do some really big circles as we wake up the hips. Keep both sides of the bum flat on the mat, making really exaggerated movements coming all the way around. Let's switch directions. Continuing that big deep breath. And bring it back into center. And we're coming onto our hands and our knees. If you have gentle knees, feel free to use a pillow or a blanket to give yourself just a little bit of extra padding here. Palms flat, fingers spread out wide, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Inhale, looking up at the sky, up at the ceiling, lifting from the chest. Exhale, tucking the chin, arching the spine, pressing that mat away from your body, pushing it through the floor. Inhale, looking up at the sky, lifting from the chest, pressing the belly button underneath the mat. Exhale, tucking the chin, arching the spine, pressing the mat away from your body. And bringing it back into center. Tucking the toes underneath you, lifting your hips, and sending them up and back, downward facing dog. And let's just take a moment here. We'll take about 3 breaths to pedal out the feet, bending one knee and then the other. And you might find a little crack, crack, crack in the toes or the ankles. Let the muscles in your neck and your head relax. Sending your chest towards your thighs. And sending your hips up as high as they will go. One more breath. And looking up towards our hands, let's just shift forward into a plank. So your shoulders are over your wrists, pushing out through your feet behind you. Pulling your belly button into the back of your spine, gazing down at the space in between your hands. Big full breath. And gently coming all the way down to the mat, right flat onto our bellies. Take a moment here, take a breath. And we're going to come up into Sphinx pose. Forearms flat, shoulders over the elbows. Lifting from the chest, let those shoulders drop away from your ears. Backs of your feet flat on the floor. Let the muscles in your lower back and your glutes relax. Continue those big, deep breaths. This is a little tiny back bend for you this morning. Let's take one more breath. Let your tongue drop away from the roof of your mouth. Let the muscles in your face and your jaw relax. Now, option to take it a little step further. We're just going to bring our hands out beyond the corners of our mat. Palms flat, fingers spread out wide, arm bones straight. This is seal pose. So we're using a little bit more strength. And we've deepened the back bend from our upper back to our mid back. Lifting from the chest, shoulders drop away from the ears. Relax the muscles in your glutes and your lower back. Backs of your feet are against the floor. Gazing straight ahead or at the front of your mat. Let's take one more breath. And option to stay here, or bring your hands underneath your shoulders. And as you do this, your torso will drop forward an inch or two. That's okay, no worries. Hands come underneath the shoulders, palms flat, fingers spread out wide, and we're going to press into upward facing dog. Backs of your feet pressed against the mat. Thighs lifted, straighten those arms. Lifting from the chest, shoulders drop away from your ears. Now your lower back and your glutes will be engaged here. That's okay. The main thing is that we're lifting from the chest, looking straight ahead. Let's take 2 deep breaths. And we're going to tuck the toes, lifting the hips, sending them up and back, downward facing dog. Sending the chest towards the thighs. This is a counter pose to the upward facing dog. So we're just reversing all of those energy channels that were causing the back bend. And our body likes that. Our body likes counter poses. It sends everything back the way that it's used to being. Looking up at your hands, step or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway, long straight spine. Exhale, all the way down to the earth. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bring it down through center. Oh, I have a sneeze. Big step back with the right foot. Turning those toes out behind you at a 45-degree angle. They're just pointing away from the mat. Bending that left knee over the left ankle. With our hands on our hip bones, turn those hips towards the front of the mat so that they're aligned with the corners of your mat. Right hip, right corner, left hip, left corner. Inhale, both arms up, warrior one. Bending deeply into that left knee. And grounding down through the outside edge of your right foot behind you. Feel that weight distribution in your feet. Is it even? You know, is that right foot behind you doing its share of the work? Can you bend more deeply into that front knee? Bring those hips forward and down. Let's take one more deep breath. And on your next inhale, we're going to open it up, bringing the right hand to the back, opening that right foot behind you so that the side of your foot is parallel with the side of the mat. We're finding warrior two. With every exhale, see if you can saddle into the pose a little bit more. Let those shoulders drop away from your ears. Let the muscles in your face and your jaw relax. Let's take one more deep breath. And on your next inhale, we will exalt, bringing up the left arm, up and over. Right hand falls down your right thigh. You might wrap it around your waist. Twisting the chest open towards the ceiling. Beautiful. On the exhale, we come back into warrior two. Straighten out that front leg and open up to the long edge of the mat. Toes facing forward, side of your foot parallel with the side of the mat. Inhale, lengthening through the spine, the neck, the crown, reaching for the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Coming into your favorite variation. And this is a great opportunity to use those pillows or your blocks and just bring the floor up a little bit closer to you. So if you prefer to do your forward fold with your palms flat and your arm bones stacked, with the blocks, you might be able to come down onto your forearms. And if you prefer to be on your forearms, you might use the blocks to come right down onto the crown of your head. And with every inhale, we rise up a little tiny bit, creating space. And with every exhale, we're moving into the space. And it might not even be a measure that we can see. 0.5 millimeter. Let's take 2 more deep breaths. Can you deepen your breath even more than where you're at right now? One more. On your next inhale, let's rise up tall and strong, lengthening through the spine, turning towards the back of your mat. So we've got our left toes facing forward. No, right toes facing forward. Left toes pointed out at a 45-degree angle. We're coming into warrior one, bending that right knee over the right ankle. Hands on your hip bones. Turn those hips forward to the front of your mat. Hips are squared to the front of the mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, settle down into it, bending deeply into that right knee, grounding down through the outside edge of that left foot behind you. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Let your tongue drop away from the roof of your mouth. These are the ways that our body holds onto stress and tension and pain. Let's take one more deep breath. And on your next inhale, we're going to open it up. Left arm comes to the back. Left foot opens right up. Warrior two. Find that heel to arch alignment. Your front heel is lined up with your back arch. Gazing down the middle finger of your left hand in front of you, looking forward. Take a little peek back. Make sure that back arm isn't falling down like it tends to do. But don't stay back there. Keep looking forward. On your next inhale, let's exalt it. Bringing that left arm up and over. Right arm up and over. Oh man, today with the left and the right. You can bring that left arm around the waist. Twisting the chest open to look at the ceiling. Don't lose that bend in your front knee. Looking forward. Gently coming out, straightening out the right leg in front of you. And we're coming back around to the long edge of the mat. And just heel toe those feet in just a little bit. And we're turning our toes out towards the corners of the mat this time. So there's about one leg length in between your feet. Toes pointed out, bending the knees, coming into a tall squat, goddess pose. Make any little adjustments in your feet to help you find a little bit more comfort. How far can you sink down? Trying to keep the spine long and straight. We're trying not to lean forward too much. Keep it up tall, keep it up straight. Big deep breath, hands on your knees. The deeper you breathe, the more breath you bring into your thighs, into your legs, the more strength you will find. Big inhales, we're dropping the right shoulder down, left shoulder comes up, twisting it out. Shoulders are stacked on top of each other. Pressing the left knee away from your body with your left hand. You're right. Oh, the lefts and the rights. Geez. Bring it back up to center, other side. Whatever side you did first, do the other side. Dropping the left shoulder down. Right shoulder goes up into the air, twisting it out. Drop the booty down low. Don't let it sneak up. We're coming back up into center. One more deep breath. Inhale to rise. Bring it up tall. Nice. Let's heel toe. Bring it all in. Shake it out. Give yourself a big deep breath and take a sip of water if you need it. All right. Let's pick up the toes, spread them out, plant them down. And picking up the right foot and resting it against the left ankle. We should always start with the right side and then do the left afterwards. So whenever we start a new sequence, it should go right, left, right, left, right, left. Now, yogi's choice, picking it up to your calf, maybe to your thigh. Using your arms in any manner at all that helps you feel more steady and secure. Option for a half lotus, if you want to drop your foot into your groin, whoop. And if you fall out, it's all good. Just bring it right back in, no worries. Now, without dropping that foot, pick it up, give it a little hug into your body, rotate that ankle, wiggle those toes. And we're going to extend that leg out in front of us, grounding down through the heel, pulling the toes in towards your face. Lift it just a little bit. Lift it a little bit more, as high as you can. I know it's tough. And then without dropping it, we're going to kick it out behind us. And coming into that warrior 3, stamping your footprint on the wall behind you. Let's take one deep breath. And on the exhale, hands come to the floor into your tripod. Lift that lifted leg up, up, up into the air. Option to reach around with your left hand and grab onto that foot, finding a little bind. If you find the bind, pressing your foot into the back of your hand, you might find a little lift. One more breath. If you're not binding, you're still lifting, lifting, lifting. And all the hands, all the feet come down to the floor. Take a minute, not a minute, take a breath. We're hanging out upside down. Let the muscles in your neck and your head relax. Let's take one more big deep breath. It's really, your body likes to be a little bit upside down, right? Because it starts moving around all the fluids in your body, right? Like we've got blood, we've got lymphatic fluid, we've got like all this stuff that wants to be optimized, right? It wants to move around in our bodies. Our bodies love movement. Let's inhale halfway, long straight spine. Exhale all the way down to the floor. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bring it down through center. All right, other side. Picking up the left foot, resting it against the right ankle. Take a moment, find your balance, get grounded, get in it, get focused, find your drishti, find that point of focus. Find your breath, let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Yogi's choice. When you're ready, picking up that foot and resting it on your calf, maybe on your thigh. Option for a half lotus. Using your arms in any manner at all that helps you feel more steady and secure. Big, deep breaths. Always and forever, from the beginning to the end of your practice, from the beginning to the end of your day. Big, deep breaths. The first thing we do when we are born is we take a big, deep breath. And the last thing that we do before we cross over is exhale our last breath. So in between, make it worth it. Without dropping that foot, pick it up, give it a big hug into your body, rotate that ankle, wiggle those toes. And extend that foot out in front of you, grounding down through the heel, pulling the toes in towards your face. Lift it up as much as you can. It's tough, I know, it's a really tough one. Lift it, lift it, lift it, lift it. And then we're gonna swing it out behind us, coming into that warrior 3. Stamping your footprint on the wall behind you. Let's take one big deep breath. And on the exhale, hands come down to the earth. You're in a tripod. Lift that lifted leg, lift it, lift it, lift it. Option to reach around with the right hand and find that foot for the bind. If you're binding, pressing the back of your foot into your hand, you might find a little lift. If you're not binding, lift it, lift it, lift it up. You can do it. Let's bring all the hands, all the feet down to the earth. Forward fold, let the muscles in your neck and your head relax. Give your head a gentle little shake. Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. Loosen it up. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Now from here, let's just turn those feet out So your toes are pointed at the corners of your mat with your feet about hip distance apart. We're still in a forward fold, and we're just going to drop the booty down into a squat. Look at that. Such a transition. Long, tall spine, shoulders back and down, elbows pushing the knees away from your center line. Let those hips sink down to your heels. Take a big, deep breath. We're here for 3 breaths. One more deep breath. And on your exhale, we drop the booty down onto the earth, coming all the way down to the mat, bringing the feet together in front of us, sole to sole. And you can bring them as close or as far from your body as you like. If you have lower back pain, you're going to extend the feet out further, and it's just going to help target your lower back a little bit better. If you don't have lower back pain, you're very lucky because, you know, we all do at some point. Bring it in close, and we're targeting the hips and the groin more. Inhale, lengthening through the spine, the neck, the crown. Exhale, forward fold to bring it on down. Big deep breath. So really sink into it. Really surrender into the sensation. And on the inhale, bring it all the way back into center. You can stay right here if you feel for it, if you like this. Gravity bringing your knees down, or you can cross your legs, whatever works, whatever feels good. And we're just going to drop the right ear to the right shoulder, opening up the left side of our neck, the left side of our body. Let that left shoulder drop down. Even give it a gentle pull, right? Like not a physical pull with your right hand, but just kind of use the muscles in your upper back, use the muscles in your shoulder to pull the arm and the shoulder down. And you can move your chin around as you find your sweet spot. And we all have a sweet spot, right? Breathe into it. Now let's reach across the chest with the right arm and give it a squeeze, a rub, a tug, some love. Get all up in there, right? Like, where do we carry the stress and the tensions in our body, in our shoulders, in our lower backs? Yeah, mostly. In our knees, yes. And bring it all back into center, and let's do the other side. We drop the left ear to the left shoulder. And it probably won't touch, but that's okay, no worries. We're opening up on the right side of the body. Let that right shoulder drop down away from your ear, and just give it a little help, like just pulling the right shoulder down, using the muscles in your upper back and your upper chest and your shoulder muscles, like your bicep, your tricep. Just pull it right down, using your chin, moving your head until you find that spot that makes you go, big, deep breath. And that's the key. That's the special ingredient. That's grandma's sugar right there, the deep breath. And we reach across the chest with the left arm and give that shoulder a little squeeze, a little rub, a little tug. And if there's any other additional movements that your body is craving, and I'm not describing those movements, remember always it's your practice. You make sure to give yourself what you need. If you ever want to stay in a pose a breath or two longer because it feels so good, go for it. Do it. If you're ever in a pose and you're like, oh man, this is not working for me, this is very painful or uncomfortable, or I don't like this, same deal. You just come right out. It's all good. No worries. Because we always listen. We listen to our bodies. We listen to ourselves. And we're going to inhale one more time, all the way up into the air. Exhale down through center. And at the end of class, we find ourselves right where we started, back at the beginning. And I want to thank each and every one of you beautiful souls, the old and the new, and everybody in between. You guys